think we're live.
Hey, so they're talking about kickstarting Technophilia, the movie, the game, the TV show, the book. What is the chat room? Is so. Hey, internet, what's going on? How's it going? I was just doing the worst fake intro ever because I was picking up a panda. This week, Google knows every Wi-Fi password in the world. What? Why aren't you sharing, Google? A Toronto family has banned all pre-1986 technology in their home, and I want to know, did they ban games from before that too? Because if so, Super Mario 3 is going to blow those kids' minds. And James argues that the iPhone announcement was more significant than I think, which isn't saying much because I didn't think it was significant at all. Obama's speech on Syria? Significant. A for-profit company announcing a new product? Not significant. Anyways, my name's Justin Pott. I'm in the underwater republic of Boulder, Colorado, and you're listening to Technophilia. Keep doing that. With me today from the UK, as always, is Mr. James Bruce. How you doing, James?
Not bad. Still busy.
Still busy. We're all busy. We all have less time than ever before.
Dave doesn't really. He's not that busy, I suspect.
What do you mean? Dave writes for like every site.
I'm busy, dog.
Yeah.
How many hours of games has he played in the last week? I bet it's over 100.
In the last week, like none. I think I played.
Well, that's lies because you've already played.
Speaking of, this is Dave LeCaire from Connecticut. How's it going, Dave?
What up, dog? You've played more GTA than I have because I just met the Stretch dude, and you are clearly well past that because you knew who.
Be honest, you've been driving around the street running over people randomly for at least 10 hours.
Actually, I haven't done any random I found the story in this GTA to be so compelling right off the bat that I had no desire to like run around and do random nonsense. I just wanted to keep moving the story forward.
Okay, since we're going to talk about GTA now, just ignore Justin's intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just.
We'll be talking about GTA a little more later.
Oh, damn it.
We can do it now if you want. I wanted
it's the only real big news of the week, honestly, is a release of a GTA.
My town was underwater. Screw you.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like I said, the only
That's
big
not
news.
Important.
The rest of this
That's not important to technology, people.
No, it kind of was, though. I realized halfway through this thing, I was talking to someone who was like 50 or something, and he mentioned how he's been watching TV to keep up, and it occurred to me that it never once came to my mind to turn on the TV to see what's going on with the flood, because I've been so plugged into Twitter, so obsessed with going through all the photos from people I know, seeing what they're seeing video from like buildings I'm familiar with downtown, that it just never occurred to me to turn on television once. And Boulder's a very plugged-in town. We're very technologically savvy, but it's just amazing to me how social media can be utilized. I mean, there's a Facebook page where people just say, hey, this address, the basement's flooded. If you have buckets, come and bail it out. And like 20 people will just show up and do it. Like it's amazing how this decentralized stuff can happen. I think you do still need some certain degree of centralized planning, and I've got some friends who are working on that for a site called boulderfloodrelief.org, which you should check out. But it's just amazing how fast social networking can make this happen. But on the other hand, old-fashioned networking probably works just as well, because some neighborhoods, not mine, I'm in an apartment building, I don't know my neighbors, but some neighborhoods people are just emailing each other and saying, like, hey, are you okay? Does anyone need anything? I've got this, this, and this. And it's amazing how this electronic technology enables people to react to stuff like this.
I'm sad to say it only got about a minute's coverage on BBC News. It was quite tragic, really.
Oh, we made BBC. It's a bunch of rich people getting...
What, Colorado being flooded? I'd say it's pretty more important. No. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a pretty important disaster, but stuff like this happens all over the world constantly. We can't think that it would warrant a half hour of coverage on BBC. We're not that egotistical. But I have to say,
I switched to
I just noticed
recently,
I have not read an international news story in about a week. I just caught up on technology because I've just been obsessed with local stuff. That's just how my brain goes when there's something like this happening around me. That's where I've been at. But it's been really interesting to see how the technology enables it. It enables quick. Yeah, I saw this with the Boulder fires here, too, a couple of years ago. Yeah, we get floods and fires. Great town.
Not moving there.
We had a fire just like a few months ago. There were some really awesome photos. My favorite was when you drive into town, there's like a Smokey the Bear thing with a current fire threat, and someone took a photo of it pointed at low. And I'm like, oh, good. The fire threat's low this week, guys. But my personal favorite thing was someone put an ad on Craigslist saying they had buckets of water. Free of charge. All you had to do, come to my house. You can pick them up. No problem.
Pretty sure that was illegal.
You can save them until there's a drought. Yeah, we talked about on the show previously about you're not allowed to catch rainwater here because of the water agreements between the various towns. I think that was waived. I think
You guys had a sudden surplus, so I guess they figured it was all right this time.
Oh, I'm actually Jesse Eisenberg, chat room. Yeah, we're the same guy. So he can play me because I'm him. So in the chat room this week, they seem obsessed with there should be a Technophilia the movie. But the main reason for interest in the movie, correct me if I'm wrong, is because they want to see Technophilia the movie, the game. And now they're talking about the novelization of the game, Technophilia the novel, the game, the movie. I'm just confused.
Which eventually becomes, don't forget Technophilia the novel, the game, the movie, the show.
The show. This is, all I know is this sounds like a lot of work, and I don't know how we're going to fund it. But if you guys want to start a Kickstarter, go for it. I don't care.
I will not back it, though, because I hate you all.
Until you guys really start paying us, though, our show is brought to you by Bitdefender. This week's show is specifically brought to you by Bitdefender, one and all for you. Get the new Bitdefender Antivirus Plus for $49.95. The new Bitdefender Internet Security, normally $69, now also $49.95. And lastly, Bitdefender Total Security, normally $79, now $49.95. That's the new Bitdefender Antivirus Plus. Our Bitdefender, one for all and all for you. So check that out if you're a fan of the show. They have been long-time contributors. They've been helping us out. So thanks, Bitdefender. Should we get on to the news? Who's got a duck? I hear like a duck, or are you just scrolling your mouse wheel like crazy?
Oh, yeah, my trackpad's being annoying, so I've got to use it.
Did you see this how far can you scroll thing?
Yeah, I got about 24 seconds to do the lot, I think.
The thing Jackson posted I make use of? That one?
Yeah.
I was thinking, saw it, but I didn't do it. Cause
we should try that. Where is it?
On make use of's raffle section somewhere.
/service/ROFL.
We should have a TLDR section too. Oh yeah, okay. So let's do this. We're gonna do the how fast can you scroll challenge in the chat room. You can do it with us. This is going to be the best television ever.
You can at least broadcast your stream, right?
Yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna do it.
No.
What do I do? Just press start and then scroll?
Okay. Yep.
Is it how fast you can go or how far?
How fast? How long it takes you to do the full
mile so we're gonna
something? I'm not doing it again.
I'm doing it. Oh man, I right-clicked accidentally. This is a pretty fundamental screw-up.
On my scroll wheel.
This music's awesome. Oh, I right-clicked again!
I've only gone 3 meters.
I have gone 50 meters. MacBook Pro, yo. The right-clicking's what gets me.
How many meters are you going a second?
Like 5.
I'm going 0.2 meters a second. My scroll wheel must be like
100 meter. 100 meter.
How long did it take you? How long? I got 24.2.
24:40.
Oh, I beat you.
You beat me by a little bit. If not for those right clicks, I'd have wrecked it. Okay.
I must have my scroll setting on like ultra slow because I couldn't get to go above 0.3 meters a second.
You need a trackpad, really.
And I was scrolling furiously.
Well, I've got my MacBook trackpad here. It's pretty killer, I'm gonna say. I can scroll awesome fast. I wouldn't have been able to do that with my netbook because there would have been like that much room.
Because you're a scroller?
They see me scrolling. I'm not gonna finish.
They know that I be scrolling.
Ah, great moments in broadcast history. Speaking of, what are you going?
I'm trying to figure out if I'm doing something wrong.
While that's going on, James, you were arguing that the iPhone announcement is more significant than I think. Now, I said that I don't think it's significant at all. But tell me why. Why is this significant, even in the least?
Didn't we talk about this last week? I'm sure we did.
Oh, I figured you put this in the outline here. It was the 64-bit thing, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, mainly the 64-bit
Mhm.
thing, because they're going to have 64-bit apps ahead of everyone else, and then
Mhm.
making iWork free from now on is a really
Yeah.
big power play against Office, I felt. It's
You
the
know,
only
what I
decent...
actually
Yeah.
the iWork things. I mean, that's a direct challenge to Microsoft, right? Because
Yeah, I mean,
Microsoft Office.
365 on Android and iOS.
Well, and if you get a
sucks
Windows
ass.
phone, it comes with Office out of the box. That's like one of their main
But it's
sellers.
crippled.
It comes
It's
with
not.
Microsoft.
It's not Office.
Yeah, and this is going to be like a full version of like.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you've ever used iWork, it's
I've got iWork right now on
designed
my Mac.
natively. It's really good. It's pretty much the same thing as what you get on the desktop, only on the iPad or the iPhone, whatever. I don't know about
Because
the iPhone.
the
That's
desktop
probably good.
Office suite is great. The only thing I can fault it
Yeah.
for is that not everyone else uses it, so I end up exporting to a Word file anyways.
Right.
But
And I mean,
They still
Google
cost,
has a competent.
They still cost $10 though in the App Store. When does it go free?
I
It's only
think
if you buy a new phone
if
or
you
a
get a
new
new phone.
device. Yeah.
Oh.
So it'll
iOS
come with the new phone. Yeah.
7 was
I thought they
released.
just
If
made
you
the
haven't
app
already
free.
upgraded.
Yeah, iOS 7's out. There's a manual for make use of explaining all the new features you can grab right now. So if you're interested in that, it's a lot of work getting something out right at launch date. We'll see if it's worth it at all, but I'm tired.
I really
I
like
upgraded
iOS 7.
and
You what?
I like
Do you
it a
have it
lot.
on your phone? Do you have it on your phone?
Yeah, I like it a
What's
lot.
the best part? It doesn't seem like it's fundamentally that different, just aesthetically very different. But
it's
most
slower.
To me, the main thing I like is what do they call the thing that slides up from the
Control
bottom?
center. Yeah.
The control
Yeah.
center. Yeah, the control
Where you can
center's a
just
big deal.
turn the torch on and off and stuff. That's cool.
I mean, I've had that on my phone. Well, previously I've had that on my phone since probably
Jailbroken, right? Yeah.
2009 or whatever. But it's obviously not done as well as the official one. So
Yeah.
For some reason, I've lost
It
weather
seems like
on my
Apple's idea of
notification
innovation is to steal
It's stealing
ideas from the.
it's
Irony.
stealing them from Android, and then which the jailbreakers that steal them from. They steal from Android first, and then Apple takes that when.
I mean, they've been doing this for years. I remember they had a big Steve Jobs presentation, like, OS X has spaces now. It's like multiple desktops. It's brand new innovation from Apple. And every Linux user in the world's like, we've had that for 20 years. I hate you. So this isn't anything new. They'll always do this. But you know what? To most people, that's the only technology presentation they'll see in a year, so it's just the gospel truth.
Oh, and I don't get
they do it
iTunes
well.
Radio either.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Well, and to be fair, when Apple did Spaces, it's the first time it made sense to most people, because in Linux it was this really abstract, nonsensical thing. So can't completely fault them. They take these ideas and they implement them just slightly better than
they
anyone else.
do them better.
Yeah, but they don't do them first.
I do them first.
Nothing is done first. I doubt Linux was the first ever multiple desktop environment.
No, I'm pretty sure Xerox had that back in the 70s, so whatever. Everyone copied Xerox at the end of the day.
I copied
That's
Xerox, and I made it better because I have the best printer copier in the world
Meh, next story.
in
So-
my brain.
I don't know if you've heard about this one yet, but there's a family in Toronto that has banned all pre-1986 technology from their house. I first learned about this, I think it was in the New York Times, but there's a Toronto Sun article, and it's up on Slashdot, so I thought I would talk about this. I bet those kids are popular. Right now on the playground, all the other kids are talking about GTA 5 and how cool their dad is for letting them get it, and they're like, well, I've got Kid Icarus.
I don't think Kid Icarus came out. It wasn't a launch NES.
I'm still not clear if pre-1986 technology denies them games made after 1986. I don't know where the line is, but
Right. If it's as long as they have the console, they can play all the games released on the console.
I don't know. I don't know the technicalities of the rule here, but I do know that means they can't have CDs, so they're playing their cassettes. I did see that.
Can someone explain why?
Because their kids were not interested in going outside at all. They were just playing with their iPad and iPhone. And
Okay, wait, no, that would be an argument for banning all technology. I get that. I get that from banning having an iPhone or whatever, or any
Why
form of phone. Why specifically 1986?
That's
what
the year
happened
they were
then?
born. They chose the year they were born.
Wait, I was born in 1986.
Well, you could have two kids if you'd been harder at work.
Interesting.
So just because that was it, so it's not. Well, that's weird. Sorry, I don't.
Well, they're
I
not.
would've banned
I know.
technology.
Everyone makes their own personal decisions when it comes to technology. We've talked about this before. I don't have a smartphone, and I don't think you shouldn't have a smartphone. I just haven't seen the benefit for me personally yet.
If I
That's
had
the
kids,
line
I wouldn't let
I've set
them
for
have a
myself.
smartphone.
You wouldn't let them have a smartphone?
I wouldn't let them have a bloody console either. I wouldn't even let them have a computer. Damn it.
What would you let them have? That's literally
Lego.
all you do with your time, James. What would they get to do?
I'm an
Watch you
adult.
do these things?
They
I'm an
need to
adult.
play with Lego. I would give them
That's
an Arduino maybe and something to program on it.
Something to make
If I had
things
kids,
with.
I would not let them play with Legos or other bullshit, and I would only let them play with video games.
Did you just call Lego bullshit?
Would you make them graduate from system to system based on year? So, like, now that you're 5, you can play Atari games. When you're 6, I'm going to open up my entire Nintendo Entertainment System catalog to you. And when you're 7, oh man.
Dave, what did you play as a kid then? I don't understand. What did you do with your time? Are you one of those sporty weirdos?
I played sports and video games. Sports and video games.
Oh, well, that's so much better, yeah. Okay.
You really got it in for sports, don't you? You just think it's a total waste for time, huh, James?
I don't think it's a waste of time, but I think calling Lego a waste of time when you're spending your time playing video games is kind
Actually,
of...
I did play some Lego,
rich.
but I was really bad at it.
You were bad at
really
Lego?
bad at Lego. That just means you can't think or be creative.
It's an open-ended...
Yeah, I just wasn't... I couldn't come up with anything. Like, I could do, like, the follow the guides, you know, like the one that you get when you buy, like, a set, but
you couldn't, like...
be like, here, take this big jug of Legos and build, like, a cool-looking ship, and it would end up looking like a cool-looking shit instead. So...
Oh, that's pretty tragic.
I just was never
I
good
feel
at...
sorry for you now.
I was never good at any type of art, drawing, building, anything that required making something besides words. I couldn't do it.
I loved Lego. I loved combining 2 different kits to make something unrelated. That was the best.
Yeah, we'd always buy the kits, build it once, and then just disassemble the kit and put it in the giant jug of miscellaneous Lego.
Oh, but then you'll never be able to build the thing again because the
No,
parts
we
will
didn't
be...
care about building the thing. We just wanted to have as many pieces as possible in like giant
So
box.
who's we? Was it... I've never talked to you. You have siblings.
It was me and the people that I lived with. My mom's girlfriend's children, so my kind of stepbrothers and sisters.
Kind of, okay. So you, where's the big bucket of Lego now? Because I've got a little bit of Lego here that was Kathy's, but I don't have my big bucket of Lego.
I don't have it, so I assume that one of them took it.
I had a friend in high school who had a Lego room. He was a little bit rich, but it was literally a room with like wall-to-wall drawers with all labeled and little Lego bits you could pull out.
So it'd be like a drawer labeled like six holes, and then you would all the 6-hole bricks and 4 holes.
By color too.
Well, that just sounds like way too much work.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like on YouTube? There's videos of like professional Lego builders.
I didn't know there was a thing.
Shit's intense. Well, if you go to like the Lego store, they have these giant ships and whatever, and there's professional Lego sculptors who make them. So. It's a whole world out there. I guess you're probably going to say you shouldn't encourage kids to think that they can become professional Lego builders. Whatever.
A lot of people are using Lego to make cases for their Raspberry Pi. I learned that when I bought a Raspberry Pi, and then realized I have no fucking clue what I'm doing with a Raspberry Pi.
You bought a Raspberry Pi? That's so cute.
Well, he was going to use it. You were going to use a Raspberry Pi, which is, if you're unfamiliar with it, Technophilia, it's a $35 computer. It's like just a board. There's no case or anything, and it has an HDMI output. It can supposedly stream HD video, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass to set up, isn't it?
Well, I finally discovered that noob thing, which is just like you just run the noob on the SD drive, and then you can boot it. So I booted it into the Linux, but then I realized that like you can't really watch like Flash videos on it because there's no Flash for it.
You don't want to actually use Linux on it. You want to install a form of Xbox Media Center or something.
Yeah, you want to boot directly to Xbox Media Center and get the plugins set up, and they can grab.
I would recommend OpenOS personally. It's not Xbox Media Center. It's kind of slimmed down, but yeah.
Does it have like access to like ICE films in one channel?
Yeah. You can download like a pre-configured. Everything installed already, and then it gives you access straight from.
And once you're into one channel, you're good to go.
And this
One
is
channel's
better than
illegal, don't use it.
XBMC?
Yeah, it's much better. I mean, Xbox.
Yeah, let's not talk
MC
too
is
much
just-
about one channel, all right? We don't need to, we don't need to
Yeah.
get stupid or anything.
It's not illegal to stream.
No, but
things.
it also gives you access to Hulu. It gives you access to free cable. Free cable streams
not
directly
one
from the network sites.
You're looking for like pre-compiled OpenLX or something, or pre-configured OpenLX.
Anyways,
I found the
Let's not
Pi
get too
ARM
deep.
one, but where's this pre-configured one?
You'll have to look in the forums on that site, and then people will post their own pre-made images.
All right, I'm gonna try this.
Maybe
You're
it's an
trying
8
right
gigabyte OpenLX image or 4 gigabyte OpenLX image. And then put in ice films as well, you'll probably come up with one. We should probably stop talking about this now. Karen, do we have more stories?
thrilling moments in broadcast history.
We are filled with thrilling moments.
Oh, okay. Thrilling moments in history, yeah. So there's no good way to segue to this. There's been another tragic bullying suicide. A kid who seemed perfectly normal to her parents was just constantly getting really awful notes from supposed friends from school, basically encouraging her to kill herself. And she let on that she was fine because she was afraid more than anything that her parents would take away her smartphone, that she wouldn't be able to get access to this wider social world that was literally killing her, that was telling her to kill herself. Why is it? I mean, when I was in school, there wasn't a lot of this direct kid-to-kid electronic communication. It was just starting to emerge. I didn't have my own email address till like 98, 99 or something like that. So I'm an old man here, I have to say. But I just don't get why these younger kids think it's perfectly fine to talk crap to that extent, to just constantly tell someone you're ugly, kill yourself.
You didn't have
Where's
that
the
at school?
empathy?
I mean, never mind the media side of things. I remember that kind of stuff. Shit, I was on the end of some of it.
Just happening on the playground, just like that?
Sure, people would be told they should kill themselves, and yeah.
Huh.
Maybe you were at a better
Dave.
school. I was at a fairly good school, and this happened all the time. I don't think it's anything new at all.
Yeah, there was
Never
always
heard of that.
bullies.
Oh, I had bullies, but they'd tell me, like, you're stupid, or you think you're funny and you're not. And
But
it was
once you
actually
get to
really
middle
beneficial.
school and high school, then the bullies
Yeah.
get craftier and meaner.
Oh, the bullies kind of disappeared in high school.
In high school, like by like sophomore year,
No way.
but freshman year, the seniors still bullied freshmen and stuff.
Oh, it was definitely just sophomore bullying freshmen for me. Like, the seniors had their own shit going on. They didn't have time for that. They had to graduate. But, so you don't think it's a technology thing? You think kids are just cruel?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think kids are just pieces of shit, basically.
Kids
They
suck.
are. Kids are really, really horrible to each other, and that's.
And I guess the
always
main difference with
thought-
the electronic communication is there's a record for grown-ups to read after and just be like, oh, shit.
Well, that's good because then the kid who is an asshole has
Gets
evidence
revealed.
and get in trouble instead of
Yeah.
just being like, I heard him say that to her. Now it's like, no, fuck you, bro. We got record. You're gonna spend
That's a good
your
point.
you're gonna spend your childhood in juvie now. So enjoy.
I
Except a
got
lot of
bullied a
these-
lot in school, and I always figured, like, my theory was, well, in a couple of years you'll be working in 7-Eleven, and I'll be earning a million times more than you. So
No,
I
you-
really
you
don't
had a
give shit what you
remarkable-
say.
You had a remarkable degree of self-awareness for a kid then, because most kids, high school for many kids just becomes hyper-focused, the ultimate extent of reality. I've heard kids say, like, well, these are the best years of my life, so if they're this crappy, then my rest of my life's going to suck. And you just have to tell these kids, no, college is going to be amazing. You'll have a chance to reinvent yourself completely. You can be whoever you want. You can hang out with all new people. And you know what? Those people are going to generally be the kinds of people who are intellectually curious enough to go to college. So if you're in high school and you're having a rough time, I know everyone says this, but it does end. And I barely remember high school at this point, so maybe that's why I don't remember the bullying.
I think
I don't know,
if
it's
anything,
not-
things must be better for kids now because they do have the internet. They can seek out people who are like them if they maybe feel a bit
But
away
this-
from their peers.
This story here that I linked to, and I don't know if you read it, it paints a different picture than that. I mean, you get into these self-selecting pools of information where the only people you talk to are people you know from school, and if they're cruel, before or at the end of the day it would finish and you'd be able to go home to the comfort of your favorite TV show, have some macaroni and cheese, and hang out with your parents for a bit. But now it's just 24/7. These people can torture you around the clock, and it's up to the kid to subject themselves to that, to actually read all these messages. But it's hard to make that kind of self-selection when you're like 12. It's hard.
This is obviously very tragic, but I can't help thinking that she probably would have killed herself anyway, even without the technology, if she'd have been bullied at school.
So you're not a technological determinist, you're saying here. But
I'm with James.
Yeah.
I think.
And then again, I've never experienced anyone telling me or anyone else to kill themselves face to face. That's just
You were just such a happy little kid, weren't you?
I suppose so. I just really didn't notice much of the world. Maybe it was happening around me. I was unhappy. I was bullied. I didn't like it, but in retrospect, it wasn't that bad, apparently.
Clearly.
I
was told I wasn't funny, mostly. And to be fair, I probably wasn't.
No one's ever said that to me.
A little piece of crap.
Dave was probably the bully.
No, I was not the bully. I was very neutral in school. I didn't really get bullied. I didn't bully. I just had my little group of friends, and I went around my business and I didn't like anybody else, so I just ignored them all.
That's how you do it.
I had the formula under control.
Speaking of minding your own business, Google knows every Wi-Fi password in the world and the location of those networks, apparently. If you have an Android phone, you know that you can store your passwords, the Wi-Fi passwords, on the device itself. And you may have also noticed that there is a backup all your information button on your Android phone, which allows you to, fittingly enough, back up all your information, including those Wi-Fi passwords. So in theory, Google has probably every Wi-Fi password in the world. Even if you don't own an Android device yourself, if at any point someone has said, hey man, can I have your Wi-Fi password, and you gave it to them, Google, in theory, has that somewhere. So
there's no "in theory" about this. That's all. That is what it is.
So do they really not encrypt this backup at all?
Well, if you encrypted the password, encryption is a one-way thing, right? Most of the time, for passwords, it's a one-way thing. So you can't recover the original password. You check
that's a good
one
point.
password against another. So in order to be able to recover this, you do have to keep it in a form that's recoverable.
Okay.
So when Google has your password, obviously they have your password, they can decrypt it and they know the password.
I saw another article this week basically arguing that Google is only not evil because they're seeing that there's market benefits to being perceived as not evil.
Well, yeah.
And as soon as there's no
obvious,
longer
right?
any market benefits for them not being... I mean, this is any company, right? Because as soon as there's no competition, they can be evil and there's no consequences. So, anyways, I don't think Google will actually do anything with this, but I guess they could, and I guess we should all start being a little creeped out by Google and the sheer amount of information.
And remember that they had the vans going around studying every Wi-Fi network in the world to know where the location
I'm still not clear as to why
was.
that happened. They were just going around taking pictures, but they also recorded where all the Wi-Fi networks are for some reason.
Someone was accidentally scanning things, or they thought this would
How do
be a
you
good...
accidentally
Well, this was the official excuse,
keep
I think.
a record of every Wi-Fi?
But yeah, so in theory, they not only have the location of every Wi-Fi, they also have the password to every Wi-Fi, or at least at that snapshot in
So
time,
this
I guess.
could be used to create the ultimate Wi-Fi subscription
Free
service.
internet, yeah.
Yeah. Every
Create
Wi-Fi
everyone's
password.
internet around the world. That would be awesome.
I don't think it's going to happen. But maybe. There is a service that tried to do this. I can't remember its name right now, but it was an app you could put on your phone, and you could record your Wi-Fi password in it and allow people to use your internet through the app for a certain fee or something. Or like if you did that, if you allowed other people to use yours, then
You could use theirs, yeah.
anyone else's. Yeah, so there's people doing this, but more on a voluntary basis. Maybe look
It's
at
also
that
stupid
instead.
because you're liable for anything downloaded over that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe.
It is. That's
Maybe
why
I
you
should
need to
do
secure your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, secure your Wi-Fi, people. Oh, and here's another Google data mining story. I mean, they're very good at mining data. I don't think they always know what to do with it. And the ultimate incarnation of this, for me, is YouTube recommendations. I watched like a single YouTube video about cooking like 6 months ago, and I still get this random crap in my sidebar constantly on videos that have nothing to do about cooking. There'll be something, oh, you like cooking shows? Here, click these videos here. So these thumbnails are crowding out relevant ones. Anyways, Mahir On Make Use Of has a tutorial about how to turn these off. It's not... Oh, Joel Lee, sorry. I screwed that up. Joel, sorry. It's not perfect. You have to go through and basically clear all of your search and watch history on YouTube, but once you do it, they'll reset to normal, but it'll only take a week for it to be stupid again, so I don't know.
Why would you do that? Is it that stupid? I don't...
Oh, they're so bad. They're so bad. They have nothing to do with anything. And it can be embarrassing if you watch like a single lingerie ad 6 months ago to just constantly have lingerie ad things in the sidebar when someone's watching.
That's awesome.
Watch stuff. Yeah, you want. That's what
Show
you
me
want.
more.
Right? It's just, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like these systems that scan what you're interested in and try to show you more about what you're interested in based on that, because I want to feel like I'm in control. I don't like that feeling. So anyways, this is a pretty good tutorial. You can check it out. The only real way to do this is to install plugins that allow you to just hide the video suggestions altogether. So if that appeals to you, that's a good fix. That's more permanent. I've been using youtube.com/TV, and that's a very good way to go, too. It's just like a full screen.
Is that going to show all my recommendations, too?
If you just go to youtube.com/TV, you can log in there, and it just looks like this, and you can scroll through your subscriptions like that.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then you hit enter, and it just plays pretty quickly. So it's a better interface, less cluttered, and no comments, so that's a plus. Let's just move right along here. There's a USB condom, and you can charge your device anywhere without worrying about getting viruses or anyone reading your data. It's just a little thing. It's a little device, right, James, that you can put between your device and any computer that you plug it into, and all it does is it filters out the information and allows the power to flow through. So if you're worried, I mean, in theory, someone could set up a charger at the airport where you could plug in your Android phone for free, and then it just loads it up with malware as it's charging. So if you're paranoid about this, the USB condom's worth checking out, and it's one hell of a marketing gimmick to call it a condom, huh, James?
Yes, it is quite important, though.
It's important.
These are pretty serious things that you can hack into phones and stuff by using a rogue port. I should do a tutorial on how to make one. That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
How to make a rogue
phone hacking USB thing. Is that something we publish? I don't know.
No, go for it. Just like, here's how this works, so you understand how simple it is to make. Yeah.
And here's the step-by-step guide to making one.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of jokes I could have made here about like James and small condoms and things of that nature, but I feel like they're all too easy, so I'm just gonna let it slide.
Okay.
Everyone knows your penis is small, James. There's no need for us to question.
There you go. Justin did it for me.
Oh.
Thanks, Justin. Why am I here? You can do this part.
You set it up. So yeah, I guess, I mean, this could have maybe helped Iran from having their nuclear reactor shut down by viruses that spread on USB drives. So
wait, it doesn't even go that way, though. It doesn't protect the computer from the... Well, I guess it does in a way, but then it renders it
would have to, but you wouldn't be able to use the drive, so never mind. That's irrelevant. Never mind.
The top-rated comment is, "This is a novel idea, but the name could be better." I think the name is the main...
Yeah, I think the name is literally the only reason we're talking about this right now.
Yeah, if this was called, like, USB hacking protection device, we would be like, who the fuck cares? And then we would move on.
If Microsoft named it, that's what it'd be called. Just like the Microsoft Hacker Protect. Yeah.
If Microsoft, it'd be like the Microsoft Hacker Protect version 7, and we'd all be like, what? And
What?
Then they would just
What
be,
is
yeah,
that?
don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, Microsoft, you suck at naming things. Windows
Suck
8.
at everything.
Yeah, no, they make good mice.
No, they don't.
Okay. The keyboard's pretty cool. The Xbox is up. Wait, you own an Xbox?
I've bought a PlayStation, and I'm playing GTA on that.
What? You bought GTA on PlayStation? What the hell? How we can't play together now?
I see you pissed Dave off now. You're gonna have to buy it for PlayStation.
That's a fair point.
I just assumed that everybody would. I just assumed that everyone else I knew was buying it.
I checked out these
Xbox.
comparison things online, and it said the
countdown.
PlayStation one looks better and sharper, so I got for that.
Yeah, but the main factor that you need to consider with a game where multiplayer is a major component is not whether or not the graphics look 1,000th better. It's who the hell am I going to play it with? In 2 weeks, the GTA Online comes out. It's a huge part of the game. Have you read about the multiplayer? It looks freaking fantastic.
No, I don't play GTA for the multiplayer.
Well, maybe you will now.
I've ever heard.
Maybe you will now.
GTA Online looks freaking incredible.
So they found the first mechanical gears in nature. Now, we know what gears are if you own a bike. It's pretty intuitive. But this has always been assumed to be a man-made invention. Apparently not. Nature got there first. There's a plant-hopping bug common in Europe that has gears it uses to jump super high when it's young. I think this is amazing. We keep figuring out that stuff we think we invented, nature did first. And let's hope we keep I can't wait till we find out that praying mantises have all of our Wi-Fi passwords as well, and they did it way before Google. So, jokes aside, this is pretty friggin' sweet. You should look into it. It's a great article.
Where's Dave gone?
I don't know.
Huh.
It's not like his stream dropped. He physically left the room, so we'll wait for him to come back.
Oh, no, don't. I don't want to edit.
So Microsoft apparently will give you a $200 trade-in toward a Surface tablet for your iPhone 2, 3, or 4.
iPad 2, 3, or 4, yeah.
Yeah. So you give them your iPad, they'll give you $200.
Although I checked on eBay, and I looked for iPad 2, and it looks like they're about $250.
Well, I think that is Microsoft's whole plan here. They finally found a way to make money on the Surface, and that is by making $50 selling the iPads after the fact. Wait, that was an iPad 2 for $250?
Yeah.
Holy crap! So the 4 is going to be like... That is not a good deal.
Probably $400 for... Well, no, an iPad 4 is still... That's the current generation, right? That's still $500, $600.
Yeah. So...
It's madness, really.
Cool, Microsoft.
Yeah, good move there. You might actually recoup some costs on your Surface RT there.
Microsoft is a maker of desktop operating systems and the leading reseller of iPads in the United States. Oh, that assumes people are actually going to do this, which I'm not convinced. But you know what? It's not a bad program.
So they couldn't sell them, and now they think people are going to exchange an iPad for a Surface.
Exchange an old iPad. Exchange an old iPad. Maybe there's someone out there like Dave who has an old iPad. He never freaking uses it. And
if they said iPad 1, they would give you $200 for. I might be convinced.
Yeah, I mean that's what, a 3-year-old device now. 4-year-old.
Yeah, my mum still uses it. You can't even upgrade it to iOS 7. But if they said that, I might just about think about it.
Well, how much is the Surface?
It's like RT is $600, I believe, or did they cut the price now? Maybe $500. And the Pro ones are like $900 or something.
That's not going to get you far at all. Okay, well,
they're not cheap at all.
To be fair, I've never seen a trade-in program like this that accepts the full free market value for these things. It just doesn't happen. Apple. I think they probably still do something similar, don't they?
Yeah, they still.
Didn't they just launch a trade-in for iPhone stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Dave.
What up, dog? I'm back. I had to get an Advil. I had a headache.
Sorry. James's voice does that to me too.
You're listening to you assholes, you know.
Apple does the same thing, so it's just not that weird. But I just don't think there's going to be that many iPad users who are really itching for a Surface. But maybe I don't read the minds of consumers. Dave hates his iPad. Maybe he'd love a Surface. I don't know.
I would not love us. I don't hate my iPad. I hate tablets.
You hate tablets as a concept. They're okay for reading, and then you realize you've got yourself a $600 newspaper. So whatever.
My favorite.
So wait a second. Is the internet making us smarter or depressed? What the hell's going on, James?
I get so sick of reading these studies into what the internet and technology is doing for us, right? And it turns out this guy did too. They're always saying, the internet's making you dumb, technology's making you stupid. So he went and looked into it, and turns out what he thinks, his argument is that actually the internet's making us more intelligent. But he also says it is making us difficult to focus.
I hear that. I totally hear that. And I wonder, I don't feel like I accomplished that much more than 10 years ago in a given day. but I do feel more tired at the end of the day. And I wonder how much the internet is making it hard to focus to the point where it's hard for me to get done all the stuff I want to do before the end of the day. Because just yesterday I was writing an article about how the internet ruined Keep Calm and Carry On, because that was a really brilliant poster from World War II, and it's got a cool story. And now people are making, like, Keep Calm and Pick Up Your Dog shit posters and, like, trying to sell them online, and it's just that has nothing to do with anything. You need to stop making these. This should have stopped 2 years ago. Why is this still happening? But anyway, I just went down this rabbit hole trying to find the very, very worst Keep Calm and Carry On parody that I could, and I think I eventually settled in when I found one that says "The South will rise again" in that font with the pixelated Confederate flag in the background and the Republican elephant at the top, and I'm like, okay, this is probably about the worst one. The pixelated racism's a nice touch, but anyways, it took me way too long to find that, and that's kind of funny, I guess, but I just went way deeper down the rabbit hole than I needed to. I feel like college me would have just sat down in front of a blank text editor and written up a much funnier rant very quickly, without all of the random diversions and consuming of information. So, long story short, I do think the internet is making us dumber in some ways, but I think it's all about discipline on my part. I just need to become better. I need to just make myself focus.
Well, so, I don't think it's making us dumb at all, in the sense that we now have more information than ever. I can instantly look up anything in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Meh. Anyway, I found this other study.
Yeah. You don't know anything. You have the ability.
A lot more than I did when I didn't have Wikipedia.
So PBS has an awesome YouTube channel called Idea Channel, and they had a video that argued quite compellingly, I think, that Google is knowledge. That being able to Google something is literally no different. Sorry. Than
being able to retrieve it from your own memory.
Yeah, it's no different. Google is knowledge. That's
I mean, there's an understanding.
I'll put it in the outline here.
I need to understand the knowledge too and be able to interpret it, but that's what you learn. But
yeah.
But that database of knowledge that you would have in your head is Google. That's a good argument. I found this
PBS Idea Channel, by the way, one of the best things on YouTube right now. You should be watching it if you're not.
Yeah.
But anyway, there'll be a link when this updated version of the outline goes up, and you can check it out, and I'll drop it in the chat room right now.
And then there's a slightly older story about how Facebook isn't making you depressed, but the internet is. So we're now intelligent, can't concentrate, lots of knowledge in the world, but depressed.
Okay, so we've got 50 years of history. We've got 50 years of history that shows that anyone who becomes a celebrity, anyone who constantly thinks about what their image is and tries to live up to it, anyone who constructs a narrative for themselves and tries to present it to the public, ends up going crazy, maybe killing themselves, but generally not being much happier than a normal person who just has a job that they go to and then they take care of their family. Like, if you look at people like Marilyn Monroe, if you look at people like anyone who's a celebrity and sees defining their brand as part of their core identity, they don't become happy. They become very unhappy. So we, knowing this, having seen this, decided to create a social world where everyone does this. So yeah, people are depressed. Could have called that one if everyone's thinking of themselves as a celebrity and trying to think about how to present themselves, if everyone's creating a filtered version of themselves to present on these social networks.
Wait, we're celebrities. I'm not depressed.
We're not celebrities. Dude.
We're totally celebrities.
We're not celebrities until someone recognizes us at a restaurant and says, "I am a big fan of your work, Mr. Bruce." If that happens, I will let you call us celebrities.
I don't go to restaurants.
But we are celebrities in the sense that everyone is a celebrity now. I mean,
celebrity.
What? You're a celebrity?
I'm very celebrity. Everyone knows me.
Everybody knows Dave LeClaire. You better be aware. He's the guy who swears on Technophilia.
Next story.
Well, no. So I do think Facebook, and to a lesser extent social media in general, makes people kind of depressed, though, because the other thing is you're only seeing the very best moments of other people's lives. They don't say, like, "Oh, today I felt melancholy about the way of the world." No, they're like, "Hey, here's me at the pool with some friends. Look how attractive they are. Yay!" Like that's like people are curating a version of themselves to put out there, and you see that, and you think everyone else's lives are interesting. But the fact is, most people's lives are just as boring as you. I don't know about Bono. I don't know about a friggin' I don't know who's famous. Justin Bieber. I don't know about those guys' lives. I kind of think they suck based on what I've
You're
learned.
an expert on Justin Bieber's life. You find it
Well,
every time
I do get Google alerts every time he smokes weed, but outside of that, not much. Asshole.
No, my Facebook doesn't make me depressed. It makes me so happy.
Yeah?
Just to see how boring everyone else's life is. I think, you know what, I'm quite lucky. Sorry,
I just need friends who make me feel
yeah, that's what you
less
need.
inferior.
Curate your friends a bit better.
Anthony in the comments is saying he'd love to hear a GTA 5 and/or iOS reviews. We got into iOS a little. GTA 5 is coming up. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But right now, we're going to talk about private torrent trackers and how they maintain their own mini prism.
Yeah, so if you're ever a member of a private torrent site, they're quite elite. If you don't keep up your ratio and things, you'll get kicked out pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, they keep information on your IP and your behavior on the site. And it turns out that they actually have a very close relationship with each other, with other tracker sites. So
really?
if you do get a bad ratio on one site and then you try and sign up at another, there's a very good chance you won't be allowed to because they share this information and they pick out bad users.
Oh my goodness.
Which is pretty fascinating, really. But they collect all their data together like a little mini prism.
Are condemned to the likes of the Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
Doomed to get torrents hours after people who are on private trackers can. Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
That sucks. That really sucks. I feel for them.
And keep your ratio up.
I would never do that. That is piracy, James, and you should not piracy things.
Well,
No,
we're just
you keep
looking at
your
this from
ratio
you should
on
not piracy.
Linux distros.
Well, yeah,
From
you got
private trackers?
Yes.
he gets his Linux distros from private trackers.
Because they're very fast.
I was very happy when I noticed that the Humble Bundle offers BitTorrent downloads, though, because that was so much faster than downloading it from their server would have been. So there are very many. It's not just Linux distros. There are a lot of legit uses for BitTorrent.
No, there's not.
Justin, speaking of bundle, you just reminded me. Did
Yeah.
you see that they added 2 new games to the most recent bundle?
No, there's 4 more. They added 4 games
4 more,
yesterday
yeah, but
on the most recent
sorry.
bundle.
Only 2 new games that you actually would want to play.
I picked up the Humble Bundle 9 primarily because I wanted Fez. Fez cost $10, so I'm like, oh, well, whatever, I'll just pick up Fez. But it also came with Trying to, Mark of the Ninja, Eats Munchies, which is a beta game that I've been enjoying quite a bit, and Brutal Legend, which is a metal fighter / real-time strategy game starring Jack Black as a roadie who gets sucked into a world based on metal covers. So that's pretty awesome. I'm enjoying all of them quite a bit. And it had Faster Than Light, which is amazing, and Fez. And I was like, wow, this is a really good deal. And I bought it about a week ago, and then they added 4 games, including A Virus Named Tom and Limbo. So, holy crap, I would have paid full price for either of those games alone.
I think Bastion is the best game.
Oh, Bastion. I'm super psyched about it, yeah.
Ugh. I can't see myself playing any of these, sorry.
That's because you're a scrub and you don't like video games.
I don't like indie games generally.
I used to not, but lately I've been hella up in them indie shits. Yeah, I've been indieing it up.
It seems like they're the filler for when big titles aren't out.
I'm not interested in the big titles at all, but I'm super psyched about indie games, man. I love it. But I'm a retro gamer. I'm not that into. And once they added that pesky third dimension, I kind of lost interest in video games as a rule. So
I like
to me,
all
the indie game, awesome.
I like all games, indies.
But really,
big
you
ones.
I guess you don't have the nostalgia for Nintendo that I do, James. But you see Fez and you're not like, holy crap, I want to play this now? Because I don't understand that.
No, isn't that a platformer?
Yeah, that's like a platformer where you
So,
rotate.
I mean, for a start, yeah, I hate platformers, which rules out most indie titles because they can't do 3D. They only do platform games, right?
What do you mean? Brutal Legend is a full 3D game.
Yeah.
Well, Brutal Legend is not an indie game, though. That game doesn't belong in this bundle. That it was published by EA.
But it's in here now.
It just so happens
I was just looking at the list
it.
and thinking, that's the only one that looks vaguely good.
It was made by
listen to indie music
like,
either, or watch indie movies.
Well, indie movies suck.
Generally, indie is just another word for saying it's crap and not good enough
You're
to
an
publish
asshole,
properly.
James.
I'm not an asshole. If it was good, it would be picked up and published properly.
No, some people don't want to be published properly. I think
That
Fez
doesn't like
could. Fez could easily have a commercial release if they wanted to. They just don't want to because then you don't get
Well, I
as
think
much
part
money
of the
per
problem
sale.
with Fez is that Phil Fish is an asshole, and he's probably
Well-
incredibly difficult to deal with for a publisher. They
That's
probably
probably
it's probably
true.
him that prevents them from.
Why the chat room's calling me a hipster? But I'm a hipster.
You're so
as well.
hipster you don't like indie things. Because
By not making him by not liking indie games, wouldn't that make him not a hipster? Wouldn't that make him like a
I'm just going against the.
I don't know.
main
I think
gamer?
even if you only end up liking one of these games, the Humble Indie Bundle is totally worth picking up this time because there's a lot of incredible ones here. And I think
I
of
really
Faster-
like Mark of the Ninja a lot, and I'm very interested to
Mhm.
play Bastion because they have in Dota they have all these announcer packs you can buy. You know, it changes like the voice. It says like killing spree and stuff. And there's a Bastion one, so I hear the Bastion voice all the time.
And
but I've never
FTL
played
is like
Bastion.
friggin' SimCity meets Star Trek. It's amazing.
Oh,
I wouldn't call
why
it
would you
SimCity.
do that?
I wouldn't call it
What?
SimCity in any way.
I don't know. Maybe not SimCity, but it's like a simulation type game. But it feels like
It's a roguelike.
It feels like I'm
roguelike.
Captain Picard, though. Like I'm telling, Henderson, go down and fix the engine. We got to get warp online. I don't really like it. It's fun.
It's a roguelike, James. You go in and then you try to make as far as you can, then you die, and then you make
Yeah.
it a little further next time, and then you die, and then you know.
You know
But
what? I
it's the
played
same.
the original Rogue. Do you remember that?
It's not very good to go
There,
back
there wasn't
to.
an original Rogue. There's only Rogue Legs. I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
But let's get on to the
actually.
dumbest use of technology this week. Virgin's blink washing YouTube playlist. Imagine this. You're watching Technophilia.
Ooh,
And
okay.
your webcam turns on, and every time you wink, it switches who's talking. That would be incredibly stupid and annoying, but it's kind of what Virgin's doing here. They've got their YouTube playlist. You can enable it when you're looking at it to use your webcam, and when you blink, it changes from one video to the next.
Yep.
Good idea or terrible idea, Dave?
Pretty terrible idea, but
Mhm.
I expect nothing less from Virgin, although they do have good airplanes.
This is Virgin Media.
Yes,
Well,
these are
Virgin's got so many sub-companies, you can't really
but
relate
they're all
them to
they're
each
all
other.
part of the same grand scheme of.
I, for one, cannot wait to see what YouPorn does with this.
I can't see the point.
No.
People
I don't-
will come up with anything.
It's cool. They're experimenting with it. I don't think it's going to catch. Oh, man. Controlling
fairness,
videos
it's-
with my eye. What if you just blink? What if you just happen to blink?
It's a playlist of their advertisements, so they've actually just really got people to watch their ads over and over again really well. So in
It's just
that
a gimmick
respect,
to get people to
good
watch
job.
their ads, yeah.
Yeah,
Good
you
job,
did
guys.
that.
Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's get to what everyone's been wanting us to talk about. GTA 5 earned $800 million in 24 hours. Now, Avatar, which is, I think, still the best earning movie of all time, made around $2 billion. So,
3D sucks.
what?
Sorry, just echoing. 3D sucks. Everyone say 3D sucks, and yet it's the biggest grossing movie. Right, okay.
Oh, whatever. Well, yeah.
Carry on.
And 3D movies have done great since then. No way was that just a gimmick people were yeah.
Okay.
No, it's GTA. So it's just amazing how in 24 hours, I mean, they're not close to the highest grossing movie of all time, but the supposed niche interest can make almost half the top grossing movie of all time overnight. That's
I
pretty impressive.
assume that includes pre-orders.
But
Yeah.
GTA is not done yet. That's only one day. They have
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
time
gonna keep
to
going.
Avatar, and
I gotta think a
probably
lot of people who are gonna buy this had pre-orders though.
Oh, I'm sure, but there will be plenty of people who just walk into the store on day one and say, "I
I'm
want to."
surprised it outdid Black Ops 2. That was like the biggest selling one ever, right?
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
When was the last Grand Theft Auto proper game?
5 years ago.
Yeah, so there's been
No.
some build up for this.
Yeah,
Jesus,
2008. 2008 was Grand Theft Auto. I mean, there was the like the Ballad of Gay Tony and the
Yeah, they were
Lost
like-
and the Damned or whatever, like the quasi expansions that came out
Mhm.
after, but the actual like a hard sequel was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
GTA releasing is like an international event, man, because it happens so rarely. It's like when the GTA comes out, the world is just like watching. Like it's
Mhm.
almost like a release of a new console, but like one game.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
So how is it? You've been playing it for a while. What do you think so far, James?
I'm loving it mostly. I'm not too sure about the switching between characters things though. Basically, you have like three main characters.
Yeah,
when you get to
three
that
main
point,
ones.
you have three main characters, and you can switch between them, which is fine, kind of in the general story arc where say things get a bit quiet and you're waiting for a mission. But in the middle of a job, when you're doing like a cooperative mission, it really pisses me off. It just especially when you're timed to do something, I think it gets too fiddly. I don't like that.
Okay.
And it's kind of difficult to empathize with the characters because there's three of them, like you would do with Nico from the last one or whatever.
See, I think the opposite. I like the switching characters as far as like the story goes because Nico was made GTA 4 way too serious, and it was kind of like, Plus, it didn't make a lot of sense when he's like, I want to get out. I don't like this stuff. But he's got no problem like slaughtering like 20 million people. So with this one, you can have the guy who like doesn't really want to be there and wants to get out, and have the other guy who's slaughtering 20 million people, which makes the story make sense more.
So you think they're trying to appeal to more people? So
no, I think it's more that
you can
they're trying
empathize
to
with a different character.
No, I think it's more that they're trying to keep the character consistent. So instead of it being like the dude is all over the place, he wants to get out, but he's also a psychopathic murderer, they can have each of the characters have one of those. So you have Franklin, who's like the young up and comer, and then you have Michael, who's the retired, he wants to get out, and then the other guy whose name I forgot, who's just like a nut job, and they're each able. So that way the characters can all keep their consistent like what their thing is without like breaking the illusion because it's a different character doing the stuff. You know what I mean? That's what I think they were going for.
The dog pisses me off. I don't see the point of the dog. It's a really stupid gimmick. So I
think the point of the dog is so that you will use the iFruit app.
Yeah, you can't log on to that yet. The servers has been completely down.
I got in at one time for like 2 minutes. And I was all excited, and then it shut off.
So look, I got this dog, and the first time I took him out for a walk, it was popping up all these tips on how to play, and then suddenly it pops up, the dog will attack anyone you target, and at that point, I'm looking at my neighbor, who's just come out of his house, and the dog goes over, rips his throat out, and then I just carry on with my walk, get back again, I'm coming back to my house, and the paramedics are there, and they're like explaining to the wife, I'm sorry, we couldn't save your husband, he's dead. And I carry on walking, like, that wasn't me, man, don't look at me.
That sounds good to me. I'm down with that.
I don't like
one of the most hyped things I saw about this in the build-up to its release was just the sheer number of side things you can do. It had like a full-blown tennis and scuba diving simulation built into it. Is that worth?
Yeah, and those I don't like either.
I played a game of tennis.
Games. I mean, as far as a tennis game goes, it's as good as like a implementation of tennis, right?
It's what?
Yeah, it's good.
It's a pretty good tennis game in and of itself. It's the
It's
like Mario It's kind of weird that they spent time like building a tennis mini game.
Exactly. I kind of want to say like, well, don't build that crap and perhaps finish the game a year earlier. Like I'm never going to go scuba diving. Who does that?
What do you
I'm in no rush. They can take as long as they want to put as much shit in there as they want.
The main story is really varied, and there's a lot of different missions, which is good.
Mini games can be like a double-edged. Because are you ever just going to fire up Grand Theft Auto to play tennis for a while?
You might. You won't right now while the game is new, but in 6 months from now, you might.
No, because if I wanted a tennis game, I'd go buy a tennis game.
You'd go buy a proper tennis game. Huh?
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather have a tennis game where as soon as you finish the game and you lose, you can kill the person who beat you?
The last one I played was my wife.
All right, well you can't kill her, but okay. The other ones
probably don't kill your wife. Say that right now. Controversial statement.
I don't think you can kill her because she's a story.
Greenland is asking when the PC version will come out.
They haven't announced anything, so it'll be at least a year.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Especially considering
the GTA
PC
4
roots.
Came out. The GTA 4 came out pretty late after the
You gotta think. I mean, the console that it's on is like 5-6 years old now. You think it'd be pretty easy for PCs to run it. But
Well, they're
whatever.
probably
Anthony?
gonna wait till they have the next gen stuff sorted out first, get that out, and then.
Because
that-
are they going to release
that
this
one
game
to
on the
PC.
next gen too?
Of course, yeah.
I don't think they've have they announced that?
Well,
I don't see it on Wikipedia.
they've announced.
Yeah,
it
I don't know if
as-
they've announced that, but my guess is that they would make it there, and then port that to the PC because that will actually use the power of a PC more than the Gen ones will.
And I believe there's a number of retailers who already have like upgrade options in place.
So
But it looks, I mean, it
Anthony,
looks fantastic on the modern, on the existing consoles anyway. Like, I look at that and be like, oh man, this looks like a game on a console like 7 years ago. I'm like, man, this game looks fucking good. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really care if it's on PC or whatever. I'm perfectly fine with what it's got. It's a
And
really
so
good game, though. That pretty much sums it up. It's really good.
You were talking about multiplayer stuff, which I had no idea about. I don't generally read gaming press.
is there any chance you will do a stream of this game, or do you lack the technology to hook up?
No, I
your-
don't have one of those. I don't have one of those things. The thing that James has that lets you stream.
I
on
can do it,
console.
yeah.
You should totally
James
do
can
that,
stream.
James.
But
Yeah,
I
do a
can't
stream. Could throw that on MakeUseOf.tv. I think we should start playing games on MakeUseOf.tv regularly. MakeUseOf.tv is a growing project. We're going to have the live show be there. Anthony just in the comments was saying he missed the whole stream because he can't figure out time zones. We're hoping to get a countdown onto the MakeUseOf homepage and MakeUseOf.tv as well. And we're hoping to get more shows on there. So if you have any ideas, Technophiliacs, about the kinds of shows you'd like to see us and other MakeUseOf staff work on for that, let us know. This is going to be a growing thing, and you guys are going to make up a lot of it. So if you have any ideas about shows you'd like to do too, get in touch. Let's get to listener feedback then. We got a just awesome message from someone named Caitlin Riggs on Facebook. I'm just going to read this here. In episode 78, Technophilia podcast cover Cody, which is her boyfriend's app, Winestagram, that he posted for kicks on an online marketplace for projects. I began bursting with laughter at the coincidence of all the things. One of my favorite podcasts decided to cover this random web app that he built and we used just for fun. Start listening at 36:15. I have been listening to your podcast since before December, so this is as good a sign as any to give you the feedback you ask for listeners each week. I really enjoyed the laid-back coverage of random tech articles and goings-on with the heavy dose of opinion. Every show needs a good-hearted critic, James. Someone who makes the pragmatic arguments for each side, Justin, and to inject comedy back when the issue gets too serious, Dave. Great show, guys. Thanks for being that asshole anonymous listener. For the record, Caitlin, you could not be an asshole if you tried. This is just a wonderful note. Sorry we made fun of you. But both Caitlin and then Cody got in touch with us separately, and he wanted me to tell both you two that he's really big fan of the show, loves it, loved the shout out. So yeah, we make fun of our fans, and they like us for it. So I guess that makes me feel good. And Cody says he's working.
Suck.
You suck. You're terrible. He says he's working on something else called
fan.
Facebook Detox, and it's a web app that locks you out of your Facebook account to increase your productivity. I would like a web app that just deletes your Facebook account, but this seems pretty good. Cody, maybe when that's up and running, you can come on the show, talk to us. Might be fun. Thanks for getting in touch, guys. Awesome. It made me so happy, and it's pretty hilarious that we made fun of you and you're fans of the show. So this is our new strategy. We're gonna make fun of fans, hoping that they like it.
Well, we make fun of Koshi every week, pretty much. So.
Koshi. Speaking of Koshi, stop dumping stories onto our Facebook page with no commentary. You gotta offer commentary.
I feel like he just uses it as a place to keep track of the links he's interested in. Like,
Yeah, like we're his Pinterest. He just uses our Facebook page as a place to store
like
links he likes.
personal
On Reddit, we could have downvoted him, but we got rid of that.
Oh, whatever. Anthony Robertson
Reddit
last
was
week said, I love the show yesterday. My favorite part was James equating piracy to freedom of speech. You asshole, James. Or possibly Dave's Cornholio impression, which took me straight back to my childhood. Thanks for taking my question about how you guys got started in tech blogging. I will do my best to participate next week. And he's in the chat room right now.
Well, he said he missed the whole show, though. So
Yeah, well, the show's still going. We're going to keep doing stuff. You can contribute to the art, Anthony. Thanks for getting in touch. Philip George, who I think is my favorite technophiliac. I don't have favorites, but if I did, he would be it. He said, form where do ISPs get their internet? I think he's asking where do ISPs get internet access from? Which I guess is a pretty fundamental question to how the internet works.
Well, they get them from other ISPs, basically.
Yeah. But then where do those ISPs get their internet from, James, if you're so smart?
They are the internet.
Oh, okay. So they buy the internet from the internet people.
They buy the internet from the people who run the undersea cables, which connect to the internet, basically.
But the internet is a decentralized network, right? It's not like there's one box somewhere that is the internet.
Well,
or is it exactly like it is in the IT
to a certain extent. There's still cables connecting continents, and if you
there's cables connecting continents. There's DNS servers that translate, for example, makeuseof.com to the IP address where our site actually lives. I bet you've got that memorized, James. I don't. Oh, but so that was one question. So basically, you pay someone who then pays someone else to give you access to the broader internet. It's way more complicated than that, but that's about as simple as we can make it.
I say you sum it up. It's magic.
It's magic. Okay.
Tubes.
That is the best IT Crowd episode when Jen thinks she has the internet.
And his other incredible question.
Oh yeah, this is amazing. And in Toy Story, how can toys die if they're already non-living objects? It's one hell of a question, Philip.
They're anthropomorphized into living objects, so therefore they can also take on the aspect of dying. Next question.
Wait, I think you're missing the metaphysical realities of this question. I think it's deeper.
I don't think I am.
Okay.
I don't think it is. First of all, it came from Philip, so no, it's not. There's nothing deep about it.
He's a really deep thinker when it comes to Pixar movies. Philip, I want to know what you think of the Pixar theory that all these are one unified story. So I want to hear your comments on that.
I think Philip knows that's true.
Okay. Cool. Fernando Gonzalez is saying, another benefit of piracy, Netflix gets better programming. And he linked to a story which basically says that Netflix tracks piracy, sees which shows are pirated most often in which areas, in order to see which shows are worth offering in that area. So they're using piracy as another metric, as another data point. Yeah, I think it makes sense. I don't think Netflix condones piracy, but they've got this massive amount of information they can tap into to see what people are interested in given areas. So I think it's sensible. What do you think?
That's how the directors know Game of Thrones was so successful, right? Because it was the biggest pirated thing ever. And they're like, well, we're not losing anything from this. But we can see it's the most successful TV
They're not
show
losing
ever.
anything short term. If TV networks stop making money because everyone just pirates shit, they'll lose a lot. But that's more of a long-term question. No one will have to worry about that for 10 years, so who cares?
That's right. Future is dumb.
Screw you, future.
Screw you, Koshi.
You guys.
Charim's quiet.
Oh, and then Koshi linked to a whole bunch of stuff with no comments at all. But he did point out the BBC presenter who accidentally... I don't know why. This is so weird. It's just a normal news clip of a BBC presenter talking. But instead of holding like a script or an iPad or something, he is holding just a pack of A4 paper. It's so weird. He's just talking about the news like nothing's weird, and he's holding a package of printer paper.
Does he try and look down at it and like type on it or something?
No, he looks straight at the camera the whole time. He's just inexplicably holding this. I don't know if one of his interns just handed it to him right before he went on air and he didn't have time to question why he's got this in his hand, or maybe he was walking from his desk to the printer and then all of a sudden the news started so he had to talk. I don't know, but for some reason he's holding printer paper. Amazing. Check this out.
I'm watching the video right now.
It's pretty good. He's just doing the straight-laced, I'm a BBC presenter. Dave P., it's not over.
He's not
We're still
talking
doing
about
this.
an iPad or anything. He's just holding a ream of paper. How do they know it was supposed to be an iPad?
I don't...
Because that's what they normally do.
They usually hold
Oh,
iPads.
they normally are holding an iPad?
See, I don't know this. I just know he's usually holding a script or something. So
It's still like a sealed ream of paper and everything.
it's full, man. It's pretty
I'm
awesome.
surprised he managed to keep it holding for that. I mean, it's quite heavy.
Kashi also pointed out that Microsoft now owns xbone.com, so our national
Which they
nightmare is
specifically
over.
told everybody not to call the Xbox.
The Xbone? Well, it's just X... Yeah, I guess so. Whatever.
They don't like that.
They
name,
didn't register it.
apparently.
They bought it off the person.
Yeah. So, well, our national nightmare is over if you go to xbone.com.
Oh, that's interesting. If you type in xbone.com, it redirects you to a Bing search for
Yeah, they haven't put
Xbox
anything on
One.
it yet. I think they just bought it so no one else can have it because they don't want that name. They don't want.
That's a
the
really
Xbox
weird thing to
call that.
do with a domain, to redirect it to Bing search.
And then when you search, it goes to
Not if you're
xbone.info.
Microsoft buying it.
I know. I mean, I would have redirected it to Xbox One or whatever the hell they have.
But the thing is
redirect
they
it to
don't
a
want.
search?
But they don't want people to call it the Xbone. So if they redirect it to Xbox1.com, it's encouraging people to call it that. The
So
idea is they don't like that.
Well, then put a
Apparently
page
we're
up that
not-
says "Don't call it that" or something. I don't know.
They did.
Make
No
it
one listened,
viral.
so.
Apparently, we're not on the internet right now, guys.
What do you mean we're
stream's
not on
down.
the internet? It's not down. It's right there.
Well, it does say we're live.
Goes to not if you're Microsoft buying.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know. So hit.
It's definitely live.
Okay, weird. Whatever. Don't know what's happening with the live feed. Sorry, guys. More Kashi stories. If you want to take away the Start menu button from Windows 8, there's an app to do that now. What the hell, Microsoft? Everything you do, someone sees the need to undo it. You don't get this with Apple so much. Hey, do you hate the dock? Click here to remove the dock. Like, I don't get it. And Canada's issuing Superman coins. I love how Canadians, and I say this as a Canadian, will cling to any one thing that has some kind of tangential connection to the country. So the guy who co-created Superman was Canadian, living in Ohio or something. I can't remember, but he's Canadian, so damn it, Superman's Canadian. Even though like the thing he stands for is the American way. Whatever, he's ours. We're gonna put him on our currency. Take that.
Well, you guys are in North America, so
yeah.
fine.
Is that a joke? You're going to put Superman on your coins?
They're Canada, man. They don't know what's going on.
We have lots of special edition coins. I don't think these ones are going to be in currency. These like the
Oh, it's like
Canadian
a $20 coin. Shit.
the Canadian Mint makes these basically so collectors from around the world will buy them, and it works. There's going to be so many people buying Superman coins. Yeah. So Kashi put a bunch of other stuff on Facebook, but I got sick of copying it.
You got sick of Kashiing it?
Copying. We did get a letter. I'm not gonna say the guy's name on air or anything, but from someone who he's studying broadcasting and he's wondering what. Yeah.
Huh?
What?
He's wondering how we got into this job, and I'm like, I have no idea how we got into this job. We just started doing it. We didn't get paid for most of the time, and it's just something we do for fun. So, sorry, Alex, we can't help you too much. But if you have questions, you can ask us. We'll tell you what we did. I wouldn't suggest it as a career. We're even now not making anywhere near enough to live off of. Well, I guess you could live off it in some countries, but not the ones we live in, notably.
I am rich.
Mm-hmm.
That is not true.
Yeah, Dave's loaded. That's well, you own every Nintendo game basically. So as a kid, I would have perceived you as the richest person I can imagine. Because you, yeah,
am awesome.
Did we officially finish up the show or what?
No, we're still going. We're about to.
Oh right, I felt like this is the after show. It's so silly.
We're going through the social stuff, man. Thanks so much for watching, as always. I don't know if you're still hanging out in the comments and hearing this, but if you are, thanks. We're going to switch to the after show and do the art soon, so start getting your suggestions in there. Everyone else, if you like what you're hearing, please go onto iTunes and leave us a nice little 5-star rating. And if you don't like what you're hearing, how the hell did you get an hour and 15 minutes into this podcast without turning it off? You hate yourself. Seek psychological help immediately. You can also talk with us directly at facebook.com/Technophilia podcast, or on Twitter you can find us at the Technophilia. You can follow James, but don't. You can follow Dave at SideOx, or you can follow me at JHPot. Talk to us directly during the week. We can become the voices in your head who tell you how important it is to listen to us. Listen to us. Listen to us. But for now, we're going to end the official part of the show, and the after show begins now. Technophiliacs,
Hey.
what should I make?
Technophiliacs. There is a new feature on Google Plus, and I want to try it out. It's a Q&A feature. Basically, if you go to the Make Use of Plus page, where the Hangout is listed. There's a little yellow bar underneath the video that says make use of is answering questions live. So click on the ask a question button and then ask us something, and then they appear on the side on our screen here, and we can find questions to answer.
What the hell are you talking about?
There's a new Q&A feature for Google Hangouts. So it's kind of like that chat room feature that we always wanted before we got the actual chat room. And now that we've got it, they've given us Q&A, you bastards. But
Google fixes their shit after we fixed it ourselves every damn time.
Exactly. So you can get questions in there. Go and ask a question.
Yeah, and then we'll see it here. We'll see if this works. Just experimental stuff. But I think some people are. I am alive and you are alive. Dave says, I might move to India. If I still get paid in dollars, I'd be rich. We do have a couple Indian people on staff, and I think they do okay, though I think the taxes on foreign income is kind of obscene, so that might balance it out.
What, in India you pay tax on foreign income?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm just wondering.
Dustin doesn't know anything.
I'm thinking he does okay making income from make use of and living in India. I'm thinking that's probably a pretty good deal.
Link, please, he says. Well, I think if you just go to plus.google.com/hangouts, you should see the make use of Hangout right at the top. At least I do. Yeah. I don't know how to link it. I don't think we can link to it straight away, can we? Oh, maybe if I post this in. This is make use of's page.
Can I ask ourselves a question? Oh, this is pretty cool. It's like integrated. But I don't know if it would replace the chat room, because can we embed that on our page?
No.
Good question.
This is stupid. This is dumb, James. You're dumb. You're bad, and you should feel bad.
No, but it has potential for something else. I think we ought to be launching soon on Make Use of TV.
It will take away anonymity. Anonymous. Anonymous.
What?
Yeah, so that's right.
Anonymous. Stupid.
I believe we had a title.
Oh, there were some titles suggested way back in the day.
Way back in the day.
I didn't read the Pixar thing because I didn't want to, says Philip. Well, there's a video. Watch the video, Philip. It answers all of your questions. Linux distros from private trackers.
Meh.
I think we should play off the title of Grand Theft Auto. Or we could just make it Technophilia, the movie, the game, the podcast.
Oh, I'm so sleepy today.
Or Technophilia, the game, the movie, the TV show, the book, the podcast.
Technophilia, based on the movie, based on the book, based on the podcast.
Bit long. We could just go with the book or something.
Technophilia, the novelization.
I say we go with
Technophilia.
I say just go with Technophilia, the movie, the game.
Technophilia, the movie, the game.
It's simple, and that's actually been a thing. Street Fighter, the movie, the game, which made no sense because it was a movie based on a game, and then they made a game based on the movie and called it Street Fighter, the movie, the game.
Wait, is the Dave P in the chat room the real Dave P?
No, that's the beauty of the chat room. You'll never know. Why did I just hear a sound? That went
because someone sent me an instant message.
Oh.
And if I mute.
All right. Well, you figure out the title. I'm gonna get out of here because I still have a diesel-ass headache that won't go away. So I'm gonna get the F out. So keep it gangster. Fans, I hate you all.
What this stupid
we could just make it they see me scrolling. What do you think about that?
That's quite good.
They see me scrolling.
There's this ridiculously long thread on the author list right now. Should I read it?
On the what list?
On the author list.
I haven't looked at my email today. I woke up, prepared for the show, did the show. I'm still out of it. Email's going to be my...
Don't think you want to read this. I would just delete it.
Who's calling me now? I'm on air, people. Go away. hate the phone. There is a 100% tax on foreign import of cars in India. Okay.
That sucks. They're already expensive, aren't they?
Yep. If anyone's trying to call me right now, you should just go to makeyouseof.com and leave a comment. Don't call me. Technophilia, the idea, the podcast, the title. No, don't read it. It's boring. Why? What's this thread? What? Okay. We need to focus here. This is the worst after show ever. We need... do we have any better ideas? I kind of like they see me scrolling. Something about let's beer and curry. So next week, I think we might actually have our boss on the show.
Really?
Really. It's going to be none other than Ibeck on the show. We're going to learn a little bit about the history of this site and why the hell we can make money writing for it, which continually blows my mind. So that'll be good. So if you have questions for Ibeck, start thinking about them, Technophiliacs. So I've got nothing for art in my head right now. Just call someone back.
You could put the Technophilia artwork on a book.
The Technophilia artwork onto a book? Technophilia, the movie, the game, the novelization of the movie, of the game. Wait, I can't think of a clever way to say this that isn't just confusing. Technophilia, the showiest of the showy shows, the game, the book. Questions here. They say tests, so I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
So I guess in theory, people could ask questions and other people could vote on those, putting them up or down. So that could be somewhat useful, I suppose.
今はライブショー中。
What's up?
生放送中。
Are you speaking Japanese all of a sudden?
ああ。じゃああと20分ぐらいだ。
Fuck you. Stop this.
あとで。バイバイ。
Having not heard the show, I have no idea the title. So Philip is telling us he has an IQ of 131. Philip is like a non sequitur machine. It's amazing.
Only 131? Man, I call that pretty stupid.
Well, he's like a kid.
Oh, that's no.
I have no idea what IQs mean. What's a good IQ? Did your IQ still...
A really good IQ would be about 150.
Okay.
The average IQ would probably be about 100.
100?
Anything less than that and you're officially
30's
done.
not bad then. That seems respectable.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Welcome to my desktop, viewers.
Oh.
I'm going to say, I don't know, let's find a book.
Koshi's managing to ask us some questions through the Q&A thing.
Yeah, I'm not looking at it. I'm just looking at the chat room, so that's going to be
not very good questions. They just say test.
It does work, however.
It does work.
I need to find just a good book. I'm on Morgfile, which is a great site for finding photos that you can use without any problem. I need to find just like a standard book cover. I could Photoshop a Bible, but that seems kind of not okay.
Go for it. I think this Q&A thing would be really good for a live answers session.
Yeah, you're right. And we could do something more like that. People are asking when we're going to do the Dungeons and Dragons thing. I think, should I go ahead and ask Rob to do that for us?
I think we totally should. I don't care if it's like a pre-made thing. I just think it would be quite fun.
I think we could do it live. I don't know if we'd be responding much to fans during it, but I think we could do it live.
Oh, I don't think we could respond to fans at all during that, unless they wanted to start like directing what happens and stuff.
Well, maybe Rob could read what they're saying, we'd ignore it, and just play some D&D. Maybe Rob could somehow incorporate what they say into the storyline.
Ah, that could be interesting.
I'm offended that you think James and I have the same IQ.
Yeah, you should know Justin's is at least 20 lower than mine.
Wow. Well, to be fair, you run a site. I just talk to people. So.
I don't really run a site. What do I run?
You run WordPress.
Oh, right.
I just manage people. I don't do shit. I do need to build a site. I've got so much crap to do. But here I am talking into a webcam, looking for books to Photoshop. I don't find a book here that I particularly want to Photoshop. How's this one here, this Webster's Dictionary? I think I'm in love with it. I think I've got my book here. Okay, so we're going to make this book into...
This is a perfect example of a high IQ. Philip says he knows the square root of pi to 30 places, and he spelt pi wrong.
Are you kidding me? I don't know if Philip's a real person or not, but at this point I don't care. Because if he's like a fiction someone made up, he's like the greatest fiction in the world. Yeah.
I can't help thinking he's some kind of chatbot.
If he's a fictional character, he is my favorite fictional character. Okay, so the idea here is going to be, I hate that. So I need to select just the parts of the book I want Technophilia to show up on. So what I'll do, got to unlock the bottom layer here. Got to rasterize this layer. Now I can select that and it's out. Then it would be better if the line were a little more straight. So I'm gonna. What's the best way to do this, Technophilia? What did I just do? What the hell is going? Okay.
I love that when Philip came out with the square root of pi to 30 places, Dave's first thought was that he Googled it, rather than using a bloody calculator, which is what the rest of us might have done.
I use Google as my calculator.
Oh, God's sake.
What? No, you just go to Google here, right? Like 1 times.
I use Alfred for that, actually. I just type it into Alfred and it works out.
133 divided by 10. Yeah, you just get it, just like that, right in the pop-up there. So I don't know why people own calculators. Make Google into your brain, people. Let Google into your heart.
I'm going to have to go soon. My wife needs picking up.
So wait, the live show is just going to be me photoshopping alone?
All right, I'll give you 10 minutes.
Best after show ever. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn on notifications so I know what you're on about. And, oh, crap. While I was away. What's going on? What am I hearing?
Are you hearing yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right.
Yeah, Google is knowledge. We established this earlier. Philip's not crazy. I would say between the two of you, he's our favorite. Philip asks relevant questions about things we care about, like Pixar. Okay, there we go. So I got the Webster's Dictionary cover out of there. What I'm going to do is I can grab some stuff from down below. Dave P. will never join the show, Kashi. It's just not going to happen. So I'm going to go into my podcast folder here. I'm going to grab the art from the show. And what should I put there? Probably. Wait, this is not. There we go. That's what I wanted. I should probably put the logo there, right?
If Dave's so ugly, does that mean he doesn't have his picture on his Facebook page?
Yeah, because the man on his Facebook page is quite the looker. So I'm going to try to warp this into place here. I don't know if this is the best tool for this, but I think it's going to more or less work if I can get it in place there. So I'm missing your comments here. Sorry, I'm focused.
Wait, there's pictures of Dave on his Facebook page.
Hey, he's a good-looking guy. I don't
he...
get where this he's ugly stuff comes from.
So
if I was that pretty,
self-conscious.
I'd be on all the podcasts. All of them. Okay, this warp tool is totally not giving me the effect I want, is it? Just gonna paste that again. Scale this down. Because, you know, the book of Technophilia, I'm assuming, guys, is just a complete transcript of every episode we've had. So it would be massive. Screwed up. There we go. So transform, it's probably perspective. Why are you looking at his pictures but not stream?
Because he said he was ugly, and if someone says they're ugly, you need to confirm this.
We can have an audio version of you, Dave. I don't really have Photoshop skills. I'm just a guy.
We can see that.
Yeah, I can see that. Wait, I want to get it in there. It'll look somewhat decent.
Don't you just want to do a free transform on it?
You think? Where's the free transform? There we go.
Oh no, that'll only, that's just, no.
Yeah, that's not good at all. We need something that does perspective, kind of. So I got to get this a little smaller, more or less the size I want it to be. And then from there, I can kind of skew it into place, maybe? And again, this doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to more or less make it look like that's the angle it's at. Know what I'm saying?
Kind of.
And then we'll get the texture a little bit after. See, that looks almost like it's in the right spot there, huh? Okay, so now I've got that. I'm going to kind of throw it behind so it fits more into place. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this here. Same time Wednesday next week. That is correct. Will we have a countdown up anywhere by then?
Depends if you got the homepage designed by then yet.
The homepage.
I mean, I designed it, but
your mock-ups looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought.
We'll have a nice big live thing on the sidebar there.
That's not going to work, really, is it?
Namanye actually designs it, or makes it, and I program it.
Yeah, the lighting is significantly different at that point, so we've got to get something in there to kind of get the texture.
What
topics for next week? Well, you can contribute to the topics for next week, but most of the news we're going to talk about presumably hasn't happened yet, Jabby. And if you're just tuning in now, you are watching the after show, in which I do a little bit of Photoshop.
We don't really have like a set topic or anything every week, do we? It's just the news.
We just go over shit that happened in the previous week. We're very unstructured.
Next week we'll be talking about piracy, Microsoft.
Apple, maybe?
And probably more about GTA 5.
Google? Yeah. I do think we should get you playing GTA 5 on the site at some point. We should do a joint podcast with Giant Bomb. I'm sure Dave would be thrilled if we could pull that off. I'm not sure those guys are going to be calling us anytime soon. So it would be cool. We would be honored. I think that looks pretty good. James, what do you think?
I was going to say put it on the front cover.
Ah, but there was something over there. You know what I'll do? I'll put more stuff over here, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'll do. I need to figure out... What? What did you just say?
I don't know how porn got into that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. One
Show
idiot.
got 15 gigabytes of porn.
Huh. Porn piracy. We mentioned porn once in the show. It was me this time, so it's kind of my fault this time. So that's what we'll do there, James. They see me scrolling, they hating. I don't know the rest of the song, so I can't parody it. How's that, James?
That's better.
Yeah. Just giving the fans what they want. And something to put on our Kickstarter page for Technophilia. The book, the movie, the video game. So now we just got to get some texture over top of that. Not big enough, huh? Could work. It's a little cheap for us. Everyone always wants you in the stream, Dave. You've got much bigger fans, more dedicated fan base than we do. We'll say that. No, this isn't going to work for me, guys. This isn't worth it for a little cover. That looks pretty good, though, doesn't it?
Yep, that'll do.
So the text in there. You don't even have to show your face. It's true, Dave. He's promised us he'll come on someday, okay? And I promise you it'll be the biggest event in the show's history when he does. And he's going to be hilarious and charming and wonderful, and you're all going to continue to be in love with this man. It's inevitable. It will happen. It's just not today's not that day. And when that day does come, there's going to be time for fanfare in advance. You know, we're going to really... Hey, you're so good at Photoshop. Here I am typing the name of the show into the size box. Technophilia 81. I'm correct, right? It's 81?
I think so.
Technophilia 81. So what's the exact text here, James? It should be...
What do you mean?
Technophilia. Okay, so now we got to make that pop a little more. So what I do, because I'm a cheating bastard, is I just go into the drop shadows, and I stick that shit in there. And I realize Apple kind of stopped using drop shadows to make everything stand out, but I am way lazier than Apple. I don't have time to design a flat interface. So I get some drop shadows in there. It's a little bit of a cheat, but then the text really pops out. Technophilia, the game, the movie, the book. Coming soon to a book game movie theater near you. There we go. And that's how you make Technophilia artwork, children. you want to see me do this again, I guess you can watch the show next week. I'll have a roommate by then.
What?
We got a friend crashing with us for a few weeks. German visa expired. So that'll be fun. Maybe there'll be more people moving randomly behind the camera as I do the show. Pedophilia. You know, guys, philia means love. It's perfectly legit for us to use philia. It just means love of technology. There's also hemophilia, which I guess means your body loves blood because it doesn't have enough. I don't know where that comes from. But yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say I've regretted the name of the show a little bit. Before we started the show, we couldn't think of a name, and we finally thought of this one, and we're like, okay, that's awesome. And we stuck with it, and we haven't considered changing it since.
Why would we change it?
Because it keeps making people think of pedophilia.
Why would you even think of that?
That's not our problem. It's just a different philia.
It means a fetishistic love of something.
Yeah. And then I talk about how much I hate technology, but I think you qualify in that category.
Yeah.
Let's get that out of there. I should copy this in here.
I just found a list of philias. Ailurophilia is a love of cats. Ammophilia is a love of sand. Anglophilia is a love of English.
I do love the English language. It is.
Arctophilia is a love of teddy bears. I think that means actual teddy bears, not the gay kind.
What?
What?
Gay teddy bears?
You're not up on this gay lingo, are you? Never mind.
I've heard bear, and I'm not really up on.
Clinophilia is a love of beds.
Oh, I definitely have that. I wouldn't. I should do the show from bed.
Honestly. Oh wow, what's this one? Gyneticolobomastophilia is a love of biting females' earlobes.
I have that. Okay, so I've got the artwork done. I'm going to upload that onto the site, but first I will stop broadcasting my desktop.
Oh, we're actually in the list of philias. Love of technophilia. Love of technology, technophilia. Right now, Justin's gone. What's you? Is Justin coming back? He is. Justin's back.
Yeah.
Now that you're back, I've got to go.
Can I just stay here and hang out for a while, or are we done?
You can if you want. If I hang up,
okay.
You should still have an end broadcast button, I think.
Cool. I might play some of the Humble Bundle games with guys.
Oh, well, now you're going to make me want to stay here, aren't you?
Yeah, just a little.
Keep
I have
going.
lots of work to do. But
You've got 2 minutes. Keep going.
Oh, wait. I'll still be here if you leave, won't I?
You will. I wanted to see.
Okay, well, I got to get this shit uploaded.
Oh, I don't have time for that. All right.
Okay. And are you going to handle getting the cover art on there yet?
Where is the cover art? Did you give me it?
I'm uploading it now.
Oh, well, shush then.
It's going to make use of land right now as we speak. Davophilia.
Oh,
I should.
Crap, I have to reinstall GarageBand. Shit.
What? Why?
Oh, I nuked my Mac at the weekend. I reinstalled everything. I formatted everything.
Why?
Just because after 4 years it's so much full of crap. Can't hear you when you're typing, by the way. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I really do need to go.
Okay. Artwork's in the chat room.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I like what you did in the background there. Let's get that. There we go. Alrighty.
Sweet.
Right. Bye-bye, everyone. Justin?
Goodbye. We'll see if I'm still around after this.
Boom.
Bye. Bye.
Oh.
Hey, you're still there.
No, hang on. You're currently broadcasting. Exiting this hangout will also stop the broadcast.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Maybe I'll do something tomorrow. Bug me on Facebook and Twitter enough, and I'll do something for you guys tomorrow. Okay? But I do have to get to work. I'll date this stuff. I'll stay in the chat room for a bit, guys.
Alrighty.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, people.